Hey everyone, the topic that I want to talk about today is easy running and why it's really important and it should be the foundation of any training plan that you're doing. So when you first start running, as distance runners, we're taught to keep pushing, go hard, run fast, and when you start running, you don't really know the difference between, an easy run and a hard run. You just run, and then as you get kind of more into the sport, it becomes more and more important to really lay down a foundation of easy mileage so that you can increase your mileage and become a more efficient and effective distance runner. And so a lot of these easy runs, I've been seeing some people doing them a little bit too fast. It's a pretty common thing, especially if you're new to the sport. So there are a lot of benefits to running at a slower pace, things that are going on in your body that you're not aware of. So you might think that you're running at a comfortable pace, but if your heart rate is in like the 170s, that's not an easy run. And I feel like a lot of people, they go out and they're just running at an easy pace or what they feel like is easier than maybe a race or when they're doing like a speed workout. But just because you're running at an easier pace does not mean that you're running at your easy recovery zone pace. So there are specific like heart rate zones that you should be running in your easy days. You especially when you're first getting into the sport, and if someone has said that maybe you're running them a little bit too fast, I would ask you to maybe go more off of the heart rate aspect than like a pace, or especially off of feel. If you're more experienced in running, you could maybe get away with going off of how you feel during the run, but I highly recommend using a heart rate monitor because it will keep you honest. And so what you should be working for on your easy days is about 65 to 77% of your max heart rate. And your max heart rate, you can calculate that by using either the whole method of 220 minus your age. So I'm almost 25, so I would say my max heart rate is 195 based off of that formula, 220 minus 25, 195. I know just from experience and using a heart rate monitor regularly that my max heart rate is a lot higher than that. I've seen it hit 208, 209. And so that's what you base your heart rate paces off of, is your max heart rate. So for an easy run for me, I would probably take that 205 and then you multiply it by 0.65 and then 0.77. That's 65 to 77% range. That's going to be like your easy pace heart rate range, which for me is like in the 140s. I could get it up into the 150s and still be at an easy pace. So that's just one way to calculate it. And a way that you can find your max heart rate is if you have any data from doing like a speed workout, you can usually find your max heart rate that way. But yeah, I'm sure there's some tests that you can run. I just get it off of my speed workouts that I do. So tips for slowing down, I would say, going off of the whole heart rate. And then once you've been monitoring your heart rate while you're running easy for a while, you can kind of get to know like what zone, like what pace zone, like what it feels like to run at a 145 to 150 heart rate. And it's going to feel weird. Like it's not the same stride that you would have when you're doing like a marathon pace or like what you probably used to do your easy runs at. Like you're going to be going slower. You're probably not even going to feel like you're running. Like some people will say, oh, you must have felt like you were walking. That's kind of the pace that it should feel like. You probably aren't going to be like sweating as much. You might think I'm not even really working. These are all signs that you're running at a good easy pace to assist in that active recovery process. I also recommend going either without music or listening to music that's very slow. So you could listen to like country or like classical or maybe like spa music. Or just go without music and really just like listen to your body and the breathing and the birds and all those nature sounds. Or you can run with someone who is just not capable of running your fast paces. So I can run about a 1935K. I could run with someone who runs like a 21, 22-minute 5K, and I know that they physically like could not run the same paces that I could. So I know we're going to just naturally be going slower. And running with someone who is slower will help you realize, okay, it is okay to slow down, like, and it's just all about the whole self-control and like letting yourself kind of get into that element of being slow and relaxed, and that's totally okay. And these are how you are able to run higher mileage, which can lead you to be faster in the long run. Also rationalizing it to yourself. So you know that there's scientific data out there regarding this, and it will feel weird, but it's supposed to feel weird on the easy days at first when you're not used to it. And then once you get used to it, it's going to feel a lot more normal. So I've also had a lot of people from time to time ask me, how do you get to running like an 8 or a 7-minute pace so easily? I would, my main thing is never have goals that are like, I want to be able to run a 7 or 8-minute pace easily. That's not really like a goal. Like, if you are running an 11-minute pace on your easy day, but you're capable of running, like 7-minute pace for a 5K, I mean, I would rather be in that situation than be someone who is running 8-minute pace every single day for every single run, and then when I go and race a 5K, I run 8-minute pace, or 7:40 pace. I would rather be the person who can perform better in races and on hard workouts than just all my runs being the same pace. So yeah, I hope that these were beneficial for you and that the tips help you kind of slow down and just remember the importance of easy runs. And just for an example, I can do workout, like I could do 5 miles under 7-minute pace pretty easily, like 6:45s, like in a workout. On my easy days, like 5-mile tempo, like straight out 6:45s. On my easy days, I'm going 8:30 to 9-minute pace, sometimes even slower. So, like a 2-minute per mile at least difference from what I'm doing like a 5-mile tempo in. So just don't be afraid of what that pace is for you and just kind of go out there and nail it. So hope this helped.